Get caught in a net with ANet. For your mind, body, and soul. Get caught in a net with ANet. It's your intellectual radio show. Here to inspire you and encourage you to be your very best. Get caught in a net with ANet.
Hey guys, welcome to another wonderful segment of Mind, Body, and Soul with ANet. And I am your host, ANet Harris. I want to thank you in advance for watching us, for listening, and I am so excited that you're here. Now, before I go further, I must acknowledge the Lord in prayer. Lord, I thank you for this wonderful day that you've blessed us to see. We thank you for who you are, and we are so excited about this session and what we are about to embark upon. And we pray that you would get the glory in the name of Jesus, we pray. And the opening scripture is the first part of Hosea 4:6, and it states, "My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee." And if any of you know me, I normally like to quote that scripture at the beginning of our sessions at Mind, Body, and Soul, because I want us to understand and know that there is a lot of knowledge out there that the Lord wants us to attain so that we can live in this present world and understand and know what it is we're dealing with. Hey, you guys, I'm excited again. I love to say I'm excited. I love to tell you that. I'm so glad that you're here with us. I want to tell you two ways that you can listen to us on this afternoon. I am live. The audio part is live on my YouTube channel right now. So if you go to YouTube and type in GetCaughtInANet, you will hear the live audio portion of this session. And then at the end of the session, we will upload the video to match it. Also, you guys that are on Facebook Live, thank you so much for joining us. We are here on my page, ANet, Get Caught in ANet, and I'm asking that each and every one of you, as soon as you come in, I am imploring you to go ahead and hit that share button. Click the share button so that others will know that we are on, and we'll get the word out because we have a hot session on today. I don't want you guys to miss anything. Click the share button, throw up the hearts, throw up the thumbs up, the care button, if you will. And what does ANet always say? It costs you nothing, absolutely nothing to do it. So if you would go ahead and do it. Oh, wow, that was nice. My guest kind of jumping in there with me. She's doing the antics with me. I am so excited to present to you all this young lady that I actually have just made a connection with through another wonderful sweetheart, with Devereaux. She actually inboxed me and she inquired about Mind, Body, and Soul hosting this wonderful woman of God. And I'm so glad that she did. So shout out to Whit. I don't know if you're out there listening or not, but thank you so much for the connection that I have made on today with this young woman, excuse me. She's a sweetheart, though. I had an opportunity to talk to her on the phone. And then, of course, we've kind of, chatted a little bit here. And I mean, we hit it off. Mm-hmm. DanaSimone is here on this afternoon. How are you doing on today?
I am awesome. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Well, you look absolutely beautiful. Look, we came in on the Zoom and I said, "Oh, honey, you look gorgeous. My goodness." All right. Well, it's par for the course. I mean, you have to look the part too, but I know she's going to tell us some things on today that not only look in the part, but some things to do. So we are so excited. And I'm going to allow you to introduce yourself to our guests. But before we do that, let me recognize some that are already joining in with us on this beafternoon. I see you, Bay Franklin. And I hope I pronounced that correctly. Cheryl Lovelace, how are you? Family, it's good to see you. Deatrice is on as well. With Facebook, sometimes they will say the numbers are at a certain point, but I can't see the rest of the names. So if I did not call your name, just charge it to my head, not my heart. I just can't see who it is. But go ahead and type in the comment section. Let me know you're here. And then hopefully your name will pop up and I can see that you are here as well. But yes, let me ask you to please go ahead and introduce yourself to everyone. If anyone wants to walk up to you and say, who is DanaSimone Savage? What would you tell them?
So here's the thing. I am a Detroit girl. I love all things Detroit, including Little Caesars Pizza. So people are like, how is that even possible? But I do. I was born and raised in Detroit on the West Side, and by my mom and my dad. I have a lot of ministers. I have a Christian foundation. I got a melting pot of religions. I went to Catholic school. I went to a Methodist college. I was raised Baptist. You know, you dip your toe in the it's. So I'm very familiar with all of our religious doctrines and concepts that are out here just because of my upbringing. I am a proud graduate of an HBCU, Wiley College, home of the great debaters in Marshall, Texas. So I am proud of that. I am also a UNCF lover, the United Negro College Fund. So I love UNCF. I love everything that it does. And I have this concept or this purpose that burns inside of me. Like a lot of people say, like, I have no idea what my purpose is in life, and how did you find out, or when did you know what your purpose was? And it was literally at 18 years old when I got the revelation that you're not really normal, that you have some things that you might want to let me, as in him, let me guide you and expand upon so that you can perfect that or enhance that as you get older. And I knew that my passion and my purpose was that I needed to help other people, particularly females and young adults in various different areas of their lives. I realized when I got to college that physical fitness wasn't something that we did growing up. That wasn't something that was in our household. That wasn't something that my parents worked out, or that was a thing. It's they worked, they raised the family. So that concept was a little bleak for me. So I knew physical was going to be one of those things that I would be helping others in, trying to stay physically fit, whether it's one activity or just trying to do a couple of exercises, because I realize those numbers, they always say, oh, in the African-American communities, it's worse. And I'm like, well, how is it always in my culture that it's always worse? Another thing was that our emotional balance, I didn't realize the emotional need until a little bit later on in college, maybe a year or two later, that I realized that having an emotional balance and being emotionally here would be so important to me as I grew up. And then the finances, that was something that being more keen and being more attuned about your finances and how it affects you as you got older. I knew with watching my dad and watching my mother with these nice little handy pencils and papers and doing their little budgets and crossing and doing things. And I was like, well, that's rather intense, So watching them, I started taking some of that and building upon that to, again, equip myself. So by the time I got out of college and really needed to adult, I had those in place. And then, of course, the spiritual part of who you are and what you do, having that spiritual foundation, not necessarily spiritual as in my religion, but spiritual as in just being centered, just knowing how to take time out and be present and quiet the noise around you. I call it chatter, quiet the chatter around you and some of the chaos around you. So those were things that were presented to me at an early age. And I kind of felt like that I needed to do something with that. The more I grew to know about it, the more I knew I had to pass that on to somebody else. And in what way would I do that is how I continue to grow as a Christian and grow as a young woman and grow as a mentor and maybe somebody who looked up to me, or that I would inspire others to take one or two of my tips or notes or what I did. So that's kind of how I evolved into these 4 concepts to come up with the various books and sayings and advice that I give to women and young adults all the time.
I love it. And you said this hit you at 18?
18. It started coming in at 18. Amazing. But yeah, 18.
That's amazing to me. And as you were talking, I'm like, and you kept going, I'm like, but 18? Should this happen at 18? But you know what, that's God knows, you know, and for him to obviously prepare you, you know, for this, you know, sometimes individuals can get started, you know, sometimes younger than 18. And then sometimes takes some people a little bit longer, but that's monumental. That's actually wonderful. First and foremost, that you learned it at that time or realized it at that time, but then you realized that, but you didn't just leave it there. You decided, okay, I'm going to do something, because we can be alerted, you know, of what we are supposed to do, what our mission is in life, but that doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to take it on and do it ourselves. So, so we thank you for that, because obviously it has turned into you, again, basically bottom line, helping others. So today's topic, we're talking about the Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal. Did I get it right?
Yes, yes.
Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal. Now, wait, let me tell you something. Gentlemen, whoever is a male of the male species that's on here, do not turn it off. Don't go anywhere and think, oh, this is only for ladies. It's not, because there is a section, and I have tried to alert many of you, there's a section for the male. Is it the Male Masterpiece Gratitude Journal too?
Male Masterpiece. Yes.
Okay.
Male Masterpiece. Yeah.
All right. Male Masterpiece. So there's something in here for you all as well. I just want to throw that in there. Let's see. Stephanie, I see you. Thanks for watching. Miriam Knox. Mother Knox, is that you? Thank you for watching. I appreciate you. Let's see. Brenda Chapman Reynolds. Mauricia. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. Carter, thank you for watching. Melody Brown, Angela, Wanda Williams, Evelyn Perkins, Carol Broadway. Let's see, Bobby Lee is on. And I think I did mention Sharon. Ishonia Scott, how are you, sweetie? Thank you for watching. Oh, I love Essie Marie's. I'm sorry, I just had to throw that in there. These dresses are the bomb. That's all I use now. I've been hooked. But anyway, I digress. So let's talk about it. Okay, so we understand and know that you had this epiphany, if you will, or realize what you were supposed to be doing at the age of 18. Now, the Masterpiece Journal is not the only thing that you have written, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what are there, the books or the journals?
So this journal here is the second installation of my first. It kind of piggybacks against my first book, which is called What's in Your 24, How to Get It Done Without Getting Outdone. And this is a book that it starts with setting things straight, that women, it is okay to be selfish. It's okay to be a good selfish with your time, your energy, and how you give that to other people. Some people feel like, oh, well, that's selfish, I shouldn't do that. No, it's because if you're not happy, or if you're not fulfilled yourself, you're really not doing much justice to anyone else by giving them all of who you are, giving them every fiber of your body. You do everything for them. You're always there for people. But then when people see you, you look tired. You look raggedy, you look hit, or like they say, or whatever, like a hot mess, you look like that, but you feel like I'm helping everybody else. I'm here for everyone. It's not what we need to do. We need to take care of ourselves first, learn how to be more selfish, and then fit people in that we can in a healthy and more mature way, because then we stay healthier. Mentally, financially, emotionally. Remember, we're going back to those 4 pursuits that I mentioned before, because otherwise we do ourselves injustice. So I talk about being more selfish with your time, how to be selfish, how to train everybody else around you to appreciate your selfishness. So that way it doesn't come off as abrasive, like, no, like I'm not doing that today or whatever, but that you're training them on how to do that. For example, I write down everything that I'm going to do in the course of a day. I write it down. I write down how long it's going to take me. And then I fit it into the course of the day. So that way I know if it's taking me 10 minutes and I know I can fit that into this time or this time. But if you don't write down how long it takes you to do something, then you can't figure out where to fit it in your day. So you feel like you have 15 things to do, but you're like, that's a lot. Oh my God, I can't get all this done today. And then come the nighttime, you're like, I didn't get anything done. Well, that was because you really didn't go into it wholeheartedly because you never gave it a time. You only have so much time that you're awake. So you need to figure out, okay, I'm going to the grocery store. How long does it take you to do that? Okay, is it 45 minutes? Is it an hour and 15 minutes? Write it down, because if you have a break between 3 and 6 and you have a 7 o'clock Zoom, then between 3 and 6, you got 3 hours. So now you can fit in grocery shopping, maybe 2 loads of laundry, maybe a phone call to your bestie. So you have to write it down and be very intentional about it. I tell my family that when I write out what I'm doing for the day, if you're not on it, by the time I write it out, you're not in it. Okay. So don't call me at the last minute saying, oh, I have basketball. I got to go to ballet. I need to pick up a poster board. Did you know about that poster board yesterday or 2 days ago? Well, then you're not in it today. So we got to stop doing that. We got to stop letting people hijack, is what I call it in the book, hijacking our to-do list. Okay. You need to be respectful of my time. And this is how you're going to do that. And that is the only way we are going to gain the respect and live within the respect that we deserve, so that we can get massages, we can get our hair done, we can keep our nails done, we can meditate, we can exercise, if we begin to just be more intentional about how we schedule our day. So that's just one of the things that I talk about inside of this time management book, especially with women and keeping their current lifestyle. So they, some women, they quit their jobs, they find a guy. Like some cultures, they're raised to go to college, find a husband, find a rich guy so that you don't have to work. Okay. That's not my culture. That we're not raised that way. We're raised to be gatherers, nurturers, to help, to, pitch in the rib, that's what we were here for. But you got to keep contributing, and you have to maintain a certain level of skills and knowledge and abilities, if I can use the government word, KSAs. If I tell people in the book, if your husband died today or your living boyfriend died today, would you be able to maintain your current lifestyle tomorrow? Meaning, could you pay all the bills? Could you sustain your lifestyle tomorrow if he got hit by a truck today? What would you do? Most women told me they would be packing up, going back home, because they didn't prepare that they would be gone. Like the guy makes all the money, but they never thought that it would end, or like, oh, they would die. Like, who thinks about all that? I'm just living large. I don't have to work. I just stay at home. I just whatever. Oh, I quit my job when I got married, or I stopped going to school when I got married. Oh, I had all these kids when I got married. So I off-ramped. Off-ramp meaning they stopped working. If he passes away and you've off-ramped for 8 years or 5 years because you had a baby, how do you think you're going to on-ramp any of it? Something happens and he can't make the money. Now you have no skills because you have a 5-year gap because you were at home and you didn't do self-training. You have a 5-year gap that you're going to have to explain on your resume or in an interview. And then what skills do you have that will keep pace with where technology and where the industries are right now? Yeah. Can you do Zoom? Can you do MS Teams? So I tell them, think about that, not in the sense that he's going to die or that you're getting a divorce, but think of it in the sense of, I'm a survivor. That how will I survive? Do I have enough KSAs to live my life? So that's what this first book is all about, preparing you to love yourself. It's about loving yourself, being more selfish, carving out that woman that you need to be and want to be in order to be all of that to somebody else in your family and friends. And then there's a piece in the back that tells the guys, as the male masterpiece, it's your job to be on board and encourage her and support her and quit acting like a baby and put your big boy pants on and do what you need to do, because she don't want to wear your pants. Okay. She wants you to be the guy. Stay in your lane is what it talks about for the guy in here.
I love it. Listen, let's add to that. Where can they find these your items, your books?
Both of these books are on Amazon under my name, DanaSimone. You
Okay.
can find that on Amazon. Just type it in and you can find both of those books in there.
Okay, all right. I don't know if Wit is on, or if you have an assistant or something, if someone can throw that information into the comment section, because I don't want anybody to miss this. That sounds like some great information that, I mean, obviously males and females can take advantage of. You were saying some really great things in there, and I think a lot of times, unfortunately, just as humans, period, it's like sometimes it's kind of hard to say no, you know, to other people. And, you know, like you mentioned, writing down, you know, what you have to accomplish in within a day. Yeah. And I was chuckling when you were saying that. I said, because typically with me, if I don't write it down, it's not going to get done. That's just my mindset. So it's like, and it doesn't mean that whatever I didn't get done didn't need to get done, because it did need to. I did need to do it, but I didn't write it down, so it wasn't at the forefront of my mind. So I love that concept. Write it down, you know, and then how much time. I love how you said that. Attach the time to it, because here I am, the type of person that I am. Oh my goodness, that's how I actually plan out my day, because I know it's only going to take me so many minutes or whatever to do this. It may take me an hour to do that. Da, 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 da. Now, I haven't gotten to the point where I write the times next to it. The times are in my head. Yeah. But I love what you just said, you know, to write it out, you know, make it, you know, there, because I'm a visual. I am a visual person. I'm a visual learner. Now, my writing nowadays, of course, is my phone or my iPad. It's not necessarily, you know, the pen and paper, but, you know, it's nevertheless, that's still what you're saying. It's still the same concept. But no, this is great information. And I love that. You guys, please make sure you go to Amazon and look up DanaSimone for her books. This is something that you don't want to miss. And I know that you can take advantage of. There are some that are speaking to you. Angela's speaking to you, and Carol Broadway say, good afternoon, twin. Let's see. Torrance, hey, Torrance Searles, good to see you. Thanks for joining us on today. You guys, make sure when you come in, go ahead and click that share button. As I have inquired of you earlier, if you could please do that for me, click the share button. I do have a watch party going as well. So you guys over on the watch party, you can still share the watch party. We're talking today with DanaSimone Savage. My goodness, female masterpiece gratitude journal. And you know what, I will say this, even if she did not have an excerpt or however you call it for men, you still need to listen to this anyway, because maybe you can help your wife or significant other out, you know, even if she didn't have that, but there is a piece in there for you too as well. So again, we want to get this out today. I'm excited about this. I see you, Carol. Thanks for sending me a friend request. Love you. I appreciate that. Let's see. I think Linda Jean, my cousin, is on. She wanted me to make sure I tag her on today's session. She wants to hear about this. And this is, let's see. I'm scrolling down because I don't want to miss anyone. And thanks for sharing, those of you, Beatrice and Linda, for sharing the live feed. Listen, what I'm going to do right now, I'm going to ask my guest, because she was so kind. She wants to actually do a giveaway on today. So I'm going to allow her to go ahead and tell us about this giveaway and what those of you who are watching, what you can do to receive the items that she is actually giving away on today. So Dana, can you explain to us what you have?
Absolutely. So today I have a hashtag that I want you guys to write down. And I want you to post or share the broadcast using the hashtag that I will give you. And it is hashtag #CaughtInANet with DanaSimone. Okay. So caught in a net, the way it's spelled behind a net there, with DanaSimone. All right.
All right, I'm trying to type the hashtag in as you're talking. So hashtag #CaughtInAnet. And what was the rest of it?
With DanaSimone.
With DanaSimone. All right. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm typing in here. I'm gonna do, if you don't mind, I'm gonna do GetCaughtInAnet.
Yeah.
All right. I know that might be a lot, but I'm typing it into the comment section, so you guys can make sure you look at that. You have to do a hashtag and finish telling them exactly what they need to do with that.
Once you share that out, or if you post or however you post that and you use that hashtag, I am going to do a random drawing and send you the Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal autographed. I will send you an autographed copy. So once I pick your name, I'll reach out to you and I will send you an autographed copy of the journal so that you have your own copy. Okay.
All right.
That'll be awesome. That'll be my gift to you for tuning in and being engaged into this conversation. So, and I will do that. We can do that a couple times too, if you want to, Annette.
Okay, that sounds fine. So that's the first announcement about it. So you guys make sure I have typed it in, type in or share hashtag GetCaughtInANet with DanaSimone, and then you can receive, it could be you to receive this wonderful gift. And as she was talking, there's some things that I think you really need to know. Deatra says she shared. Oh yeah. So go ahead and throw that hashtag into where you shared. So again, so if you share the live feed, that's fine. And then you do the hashtag. Is that okay, Dana?
Yep.
Okay. All right. So yeah, that would be a perfect way to share, actually. Share the live feed, and then make sure you actually type in the hashtag. And we're gonna actually announce a free gift again, like towards the end of the show. We'll do another one a little bit to give some other people an opportunity as well. So make sure you're doing that, because what we're going to do at the end of the show, we're going to do a search for that hashtag, and then that way we can see who actually shared and who can get a free gift.
Yes,
So exciting. So thank you for doing that, Dana. That's
awesome.
beautiful.
No problem.
All right, so let's get into talking about this Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal here. We already have understood and heard the need or the reason why. Let me ask you, how was it difficult in writing this journal? And tell me why. Was it difficult personally, or was it difficult maybe thinking, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get these points across to people?
Mm-hmm.
So
the way that the journal is set up is that it's a writing journal, and you write down every day. You take time to just stop every day to write down 5 things that you're grateful for the day. Just 5. They don't have to be sentences. It doesn't have to be a letter, a long one pager. I'm a person that I don't like writing a lot of stuff. I don't like a whole lot of like writing all my thoughts out. This morning I drove and ran into the cow and picked up some, I'm not one of those type of people. But what I do like is that I can be focused, I can be intentional, and I can think about what it was about my day that I'm so grateful for. What was it? Because a lot of times we spend all day complaining, all day being upset about the people we work with, the person who was driving in the other lane. Why do I have so much errands to run? The dishes are still in the sink when I get home. What you been doing all day? Playing the video games? We spend so much time into that we go to bed and we're more exhausted because we're still thinking about all the things that aggravated us today, all the things that didn't go well today. Now you've really let your body take in this toxic thinking. And whether you believe or not, your thoughts affect the acidity balance in your body. It affects your organs. It affects how things function in your body. Just think about it next time you have an argument, or think about it the next time you get stressed out. Just pay attention to what starts hurting. If it's your head, if it's your chest starts feeling tight, your stomach gets these, they're not butterflies. They get this tightening up like it's like rocks or something that wants to pound against each other. That's stress. That's you being so stressed out. And you might want to call it heartburn. You might want to call it the chili cheesesteak you had at lunch. It's not. It's stress, because of what you are telling your body and what you are feeding to yourself is negative energy. So being able to take the time out before you go to sleep at night, and just take a minute to just exhale, okay? And that exhale, literally, like exhale, and just write down 5 things. Like, what was it about my day that was really good? I woke up, the car started. I got to work safely. I had traveling mercies. I was able to drive with both my hands. I had feet to go up the stairs at my job. Little things. Some little kid walked up to me and hugged me today. Wow, I'm really grateful. It's the little things that can turn around your journey of gratitude. The more grateful you are for the things, the little things that happen in your life, what you're doing is you're setting yourself up for the big things he has for you. So if you are not appreciative of just the little things, the glasses, the water, the car starting, just waking up, you're not getting anything. You're not getting anything else bigger, because you can't appreciate the small stuff. So I'm not going to give you anything bigger. If you want that promotion, if you want that really nice car, if you want that nice house, you want the mortgage company to finance it, you're not getting a thing until you can appreciate the pen, paper, the earrings, speaking without signing. Okay, like those are the things that you need to be grateful for. And once you do that, here's what happens when you start to become more grateful. You start to become more giving. You start to become a better person. You start to become such an amazing human that you start to infect other people around you, because you're so grateful. You have such a glow about you that they want to know, what in the heck? Like, nothing seems to bother you. Nothing seems to agitate you. And my dad used to always say, do not spend a lot of time worrying, crying, fussing about things you have no control over. So if you cannot control it, if you cannot change it or maneuver it or manipulate it, let it go. He's always said, let it go. And the more you do that, who cares about the coworker who got a better pay or got the promotion or can make $50 more than you? Is your mortgage still getting paid? Are your lights still on? It's just be grateful for what you have, because then you will get more. You will get more, but you have to be grateful for the things that you are getting in your life. You start to be nicer. People start to be nicer to you. The way you react to people is different. You don't snap at people anymore. You just kind of take it with a grain of salt, and just kind of step back a second. You do not always have to set people straight. You do not always have to have the right to be right. You do not have to have the right to be right all the time. Just let it go. Just let it go. And so that's what the journal will do. It focuses you in, it makes you stop and think about the little things and what you were grateful for the day. And as you do that every day, you're training your brain, you're training your endorphins, you're training your love cells in your body to be a better person, to be a better human, to be more gracious, to invite grace into your life. Okay, grace, not hate. More grace into your life. Thing happens for Oprah. You know, like you pick up some coal, that's gonna turn into a diamond, right? Yeah. But no, I tried it, and my husband, he does it every single night. He does it every single night. And my husband is an Omega. And if you know anything about Omega Sci-Fi, Fraternity Incorporated, they are some guys who they are they type, they male, they're the male species of the male species, you know. And so for him to take the time out to find himself and to change his balance in the course of a day is huge. It's huge. So he scratched off on the journal. It says the female masterpiece. He scratched off the FE and made it the male masterpiece.
Oh, wait. So let me ask you, is that maybe the reason why you have that section in there for the male?
No, he just, because it was a female masterpiece, he said, well, I'm going to tell the guys to scratch off the F and the E, and I'm just going to make it to the male masterpiece. But there is a piece in here that speaks to the guys. Okay, there's a one for the females, and then there's one for the guys that speak to you about your journey and your role in a female masterpiece life. See, because here's the thing, guys, when we become female masterpieces, we don't want no trash. You better come correct, okay? Not saying our expectations are so high and we want, you know, Denzel and all this old foolishness. No, but when she becomes a female masterpiece, she's very intentional and she's very sure about what she wants. And you better be ready to give it to her, or you gonna be gone. You're gonna get your walking papers, because at some point she's going to feel like you add no value in my life. You weren't on board and supporting me as I became this female masterpiece. So guess what? To the left, to the left, to the left, to the left is what's gonna happen. So you might as well jump on board and become a male masterpiece that loves a female masterpiece. And then you all are in this journey together, and you build and you learn together how to communicate, what it is to be in your lane and in your lane, and how to respect each other's lane, and the two shall not merge all the time. You know what I mean? So that's kind of gives you the basis of where this came from, and why it's so important that everybody knows their role, and why it's important for your soul and your spirit, and for your elevation as a human and as a person. Giving. Our job on earth, read the Bible, people. Our job on earth is to give. It's to give. It's not to hold it in. Okay, it's to give. God didn't spend Jesus didn't spend a whole lot of time with all the rich folks on top of the hill, right? He was always down here chilling with the folks in the village, going to their houses. He wasn't staying at the Ritz-Carlton. No, he was staying with other people. He wasn't staying in the palaces. That's because that's our role. And that's what we should be doing. We should be giving. We should be humble. We should be willing to help other people with the skills and things that we have inside of us, even if it's just a little bit the size of a mustard seed.
I love it. I love it. I am loving this concept, Dana. I'm loving it. Hey, listen, guys, if you're just not joining us, we're talking to DanaSimone Savage, and she is explaining to us about her journey, really, what her lot in life is, if you will. We're talking about the female masterpiece gratitude journal. And if you heard the last thing she was saying give. We should be giving, and she's giving to us what she believes that she has been instructed to do. So there is so much in what she just talked about, you know, kind of giving us an example or understanding of what this journal is all about. And as you were talking, Dana, I was listening to you, and you know, I'm kind of like maybe here and there taking little notes here, but I love how you mentioned about your husband, how he does it every night. But I wanted to back up a little bit. You mentioned that you went into this time period in your life where you were doing some reflection. If you can maybe ask for me, I don't know if it's personal or not, but what got you to that point that you felt that you needed to do reflection within your own life?
So again, it goes back to here, where the time and how you spend your days and what affects you, and how you let other people affect you. And I realized that I wasn't quite smiling every day, or I wasn't quite right. Like there was something saying, you're not right. Something's real jacked up with you. you're snapping at people. You don't want to get out of bed all the time, or it takes you forever to get out of bed. You know, those things that like the depression symptoms and them tendencies where you're like, why am I still in the bed? I've been laying here for 45 minutes, you know, or I just don't want to get up. It was the thoughts that you were slow. I was slowing down. I didn't feel quite myself. I felt like everybody was pulling at me. I was, my husband and I were dating at the time. And so now, you know, you add that piece in, my child is getting ready. She's in her senior year of high school. You have all of this stuff going and pulling and tugging at you. And you just feel like you just want to throw it all up like a card table. And then my producer of my talk show, he sent me a link and was like, we need to do this meditation. We need to do this meditation. Just try it out. It's only 28 days. Try it out. And so I did that meditation. It was a 28-day one with Chopra and the Chopra Meditation Center. And when I tell you, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was like 18 minutes a day. And it just got me to wake up earlier in the morning. Who wants to wake up earlier? And I just laid there and I was able to do this meditation. And it started just opening up so many thoughts for me and started opening up visions and that I hadn't thought about before, just shedding the different lights on things that maybe I was thinking about, or negative things or positive things or things I hadn't done yet. And it was just because I took time out, 18 minutes in the morning, to just stop and just think about what was going on. What is affecting me? How is it affecting me? And just slow it down some, just slow it down a little bit. Because if you allow other people to steal your joy, or if you allow others to suppress who you are and your bubbly personality, or even if you don't have a bubbly personality, but if you let other people suppress you and you get in that pit, you're not going to always have a life vest. Okay. You'll find yourself now having suicidal thoughts. You'll find yourself now having irrational thoughts. You'll find yourself letting the devil on this side try to kick off the angel on this side, combating with yourself about right and wrong, good and bad, grace and gratitude, you know. So that's why I said, I need to stop. I'm going to have to, because I'm not going to be able to pull myself out of this pit every time by myself. And what if I get into a pit and nobody's around me? You know, I don't have no friends or family. I've always moved somewhere where I don't have family and friends. So I'm always alone. I'm always, you know, doing things by myself because I live in places that I wasn't rooted from. So it makes it difficult. So I have to try to pull myself out of these pits every time because I don't have that extra hand to pull me out or to whatever. And I was like, I need some help now. And so the meditation helped. And then it led into this, that gratitude. So I started doing the gratitude journal when I was meditating 4 years ago. And then it wasn't until like recently when I said, this COVID is kicking butt. People might need some self-care. Let me just try to share this with somebody else, somebody who doesn't like to write, somebody who just wants to write things down and just dip their toe into this world of being grateful and how it can change their life and how it can change others around them. I've had people write testimonies that said that other people stop being the way that they were towards them because of the way they were more grateful. They told them, thank you. I appreciate you doing that for me. Just the little things, whatever it is. And it will change your life. It will definitely change your life, but you have to just stop for a second and realize that there is something wrong that maybe you need to reflect upon as a person in order to be able to receive the rewards of meditation, of gratitude, of just writing things down.
Love it. Well, thank you for being transparent and answering that question for me. Because sometimes we get to a point in our lives, maybe whatever has happened or transpired. And then you have to take, sometimes you have to walk it back a little bit, step back, examine the situation. But then sometimes we're not ready to admit that it's us that needs to step back and reflect. So thank you for sharing that. I asked that because, hopefully it can help someone else as well. Sometimes we just need to do just that. I'm going to read your comments that are here on Facebook Live. And I do appreciate those of you that have joined us. I see you, Scott. I see you, Deborah Jones-Riddle. I think Whit is on. I think I saw her name. Deatra says she just ordered the Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal. Amazon says that she will receive it on Friday and she is excited. Awesome. Thank you, Deatra. She's good people. So Selena, I see you. Thank you for watching. And Buddy Gill has joined us. Buddy says, yes, scratch off that FE. Only Buddy. Thank you for joining, Buddy. Cornelius is on, Helen Jackson, and there's other comments. I think Buddy said, I like, quote unquote, invite grace into your life. Yeah, when you were saying that earlier. Let's see. Oh, Whit says, yeah, I thought I saw your name, Whit. She says here, I like that, DanaSimone. You don't always have to have the right to be right. Yeah, boy, I know a lot of us struggle with that. My goodness, who wants to be wrong? Who wants to be wrong? It's like, I think it takes a big person to say, okay, I'm wrong, but yeah, we all should go down that road. Right. Let's see here. I think I see Billy is on, Sarah Butler, Stan McCaskill. Let's see, I'm scrolling back up because I may have missed names. Karen, did I mention you? Thank you, my good friend. She's a sweetheart. Kevin Strong is also here. Nicola, David Franklin, Cassandra Odessa. I just like to acknowledge you guys because, again, I thank you every week for joining and watching and supporting. I don't ever want to take your presence for granted. Buddy Gill says, I like that idea. It forces you to be intentional about a positive perspective. Yeah, I like that. Let's see here. There was a question that I wanted to scroll back down to. Scott asked, do you find that deep reflection scares people?
Yeah. So here's the thing about deep reflection. And it could be deep reflection, it could be meditation, it could be whatever it is. But here's the thing, when you're in deep reflection, things are revealed. You learn a lot in deep reflection because now you have to be still. Now you're thinking about it. Now it's crystal clear. I might be a little bit more jacked up than I thought, or I might want to handle this a little bit better. That is one of the things that I do at night is I retrace my day. It's almost like a rapid thing. Like, okay, from the morning time, the people I encountered, whatever, like, did I do this? Or who did I talk to? Or how were my phone calls? How did I handle that question? I just do a lapse in my head to determine if there was anyone or anything that I could have handled differently. Did I say something out of pocket to somebody? Did I hurt somebody's feelings? That I need to go back and repent, or to go back and say something, or to retract, or just handle it different the next time if it was somebody that I would never encounter again. But it is, being in deep reflection can be painful. It can be raw, because the truth hurts. But here's the thing about it is that it's just you're reflecting. You don't have to tell anybody about it. Now, you only feel like a fool if you told somebody, like, check it out, this is what happened. Or if you post it all out and tell everybody what the reflection was, and then and then people start judging you. And that's not what we want. We don't want people to judge us. We do enough of that on our own, judging ourselves and thinking that we're not up to par. We do not need to give the Facebook, Twitter, Periscope world and the Instagram and the Snapchatters of the world an opportunity to do it. So we just need to self-reflect and figure out how we need to tweak and adjust. as we go through and as we build that better life as a Christian, that better life as a person. Because when the male masterpiece and the female masterpiece, again, when they're doing this together, you may not end up always together, but you will definitely end up a masterpiece for somebody else. And that's okay. It's okay. But if you want to know how a woman thinks, and if you want to know what affects her, and if you want to know how the guy thinks and what affects him, this gratitude journal is what helps you figure that out. What causes your emotions to, to throw you off your square.
Yeah, I love that. I love it. And that's interesting because as you were saying, the female and the male masterpiece, and they really should do this together. Thank you for interjecting and saying, even if it, you're not with that person or something, or end up with that person, you're still that full masterpiece. And that's what I believe you're trying to get across to each of us. So individually, this is how this thing is going to work. And that's what I'm receiving from that, to make yourself that masterpiece that God.
And when you said that, it's like, here's the thing. I want to give everybody an analogy. Women sometimes say, I don't know who I am anymore. And I talk about that in my first book. I don't know who I am anymore. I gave them all that I was. I don't know what to do. I don't know who I am. Therein lies the problem. Because remember, with or without him, I'm trying to get you to the point that with or without him, you're still a female masterpiece. When you buy the Mona Lisa painting, it's a masterpiece, right? The Mona Lisa painting is a masterpiece. If you take the Mona Lisa out of France and put it in my house, in the projects, downtown, under a freeway, or in a homeless person's cart, guess what? It's still a masterpiece. I don't care where you put it or where it goes, it's still a masterpiece. So keep that in mind. That's where I'm trying to get you to understand, is that the journey that you go on will be up, it will be down, it will be pretty, it won't be pretty, it'll smell, it'll whatever. But all in all, you're still a masterpiece, and you have never devalued yourself because of other people or things that you did or decisions and choices.
Right.
That makes sense.
Okay. All right. Let me read a little bit more on here from Facebook Live. I see you, Lyle. Scott says, I think reflection is a part of therapy and cleansing. Cleansing requires us to encounter the negative and nasty in order to remove it. Mm-hmm. Thank you for that comment. I agree with that. Buddy Gill says, this is supported in the scriptures, Philippians 4:8-9. And you guys can refer to that, but of course it says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue and if there be any praise, think on these things. And then verse 9 says, those things which ye have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and the God of peace shall be with you. Buddy Gill, thank you for mentioning that and bringing that back around full circle, because, even as Dana started talking today, I'm like, this is scripture. This is scripture. And, it is supported in scripture. We all should, even earlier, she was mentioning about your thoughts and making sure, write down 5 good things, from that day. That's wonderful. We should think on that positive. We should, have our mind focusing that way, because I'm going to tell you something, we are faced with so much. And Dana just mentioned it a few minutes ago. She said, even in this pandemic, she wanted to make sure that this journal can get out to people to help others, and many as she can help, because so much is going through everyone's mind now more than ever. These past 7-8 months, if you will. This past year, 2020, it's so much goes through your mind, because you're like, okay, we're in this thing, and it's almost like now you're in a new normal now, where you go out and everybody's masked up, or what have you, and it's not like you Some people are thinking you're going to go back to the way it was. I honestly don't think it will be. That's just me, my mind. That's ANet. Okay, so you don't don't take that and run too far with it. But I'm just saying it's not like it was. I was just looking at some, Facebook has the memories that pops up in your timeline. And I was just looking at some memories this morning from a year ago this time. And I'm like, wow, that was when we could go out and embrace each other and do this and do that, So it's almost like, okay, where am I? What am I doing here? Almost like you're in another world, if you will. But having someone to come and to encourage you to look at the positive is definitely something we can grab a hold to. We appreciate those who do things like that. Of course, appreciating you, Dana, in getting this journal out to make sure others we want to look at the positive side. We can see all the negative, and everything. And every once in a while, I'll see down my timeline, someone say, hey, this is just to make you smile. We hear so much bad in the world or what have you. We need that stuff too. Because I always say your mind is a very delicate thing to deal with. And if you don't handle it correctly, your mind could just be off. I'll just put it that way, bottom line. So let's try and think on the positive. Let's take in what she's saying on today to help us. I see you, Tammy T. Hughes. Thanks for watching. Linda Jean says, I love this. She is hitting the description of a masterpiece on the head. Auntie Ida, I see you. And thanks for watching. What do you think about that last statement? She's hitting the description of a masterpiece on the head. Were you, and I know I had asked you earlier when you were getting this journal together, did you have any inhibitions about whether or not people would receive it? How are they receiving it? Or are they receiving it the way you wanted them to?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and in fact, people are receiving it the way that I thought they would, and even more, which is what I was hoping that they would find, because your journey to grace is different. It's not like anyone else's. And so the conversations or the testimonies that I've been hearing from people, they're all different. They're all very different. None of them are the same. The one common thread is that they have changed their lives. They have become a lot more mellow, a lot more appreciative, a lot less stressed about things that bothered them before. Doesn't really bother them anymore, because it was like, why was I mad about that in the first place? Because there's other things to be concerned with. There's other things. My mother used to always say, don't major in minor things, and I used to be like, why not? And so that's what it is. It's don't major in minor things. The one thing that people do like a lot, and when you asked about, was it hard to get this journal together? The hardest piece about this journal, because it's really your writings of every day, was the bottom pieces on each page. So whatever has affected me in the last 3 to 4 years, in any affirmation that I had personally, is in this first edition of this journal. So on the left side, it'll have 1 word or 2 words, which is like an affirmation. On the right side is a quote from, like a gratitude quote from some famous person that we may have seen that gratitude quote before, but it's on each page because that day might be a reflection of that quote, or it may not be a reflection of that quote, or you realize, oh, really? Like, that was what my day was all about. And then that becomes like that page, that becomes that epiphany for you. So on this particular page that I'm on, it says ideal relationships. So, it's like, okay, ideal relationships is like, okay, because everybody yearns to have ideal relationships, whether it's personal or professional. So that's what you're kind of marinating on for that day, is you're thinking about ideal relationships. And then on the right side, it says the root of joy is gratefulness by David Steinall. So it gives you a quote to kind of go along with some of these other thoughts. So that probably was the hardest part about putting this together, was which one of these did I want to share with you guys? How did I want to share some personal reflections of what's happened to me? And you can read them and be like, escape. Like, what the heck do you mean by escape? You know, there was a time when I did want to escape. I was like, shoot my behind to the moon. So you will have a real close encounter with what my life has been about for the last 4 years. And I've pinned it with using these words and these quotes to just show you how that is inside of this book. So being that transparent is not always easy, but I am a real raw female, and I feel like you can't help anybody else if you have, if you're holding back, if you can't just be honest with them and peel back the layers of the pain, you're never going to help anyone else heal. So, and even yourself.
Yeah, I would agree. Even now, I kind of say that too when I'm encouraging individuals to go and get therapy. You know, when you go in therapy, they're peeling back layers. They're gonna get to the bottom of what is a good therapist will get to the bottom of what you're dealing with and how to get you to overcome. But you have to be transparent. You know, you need to be, you know, upfront and honest. So yeah, those are very good points you just made. So thank you for answering that question. Scott Mayfield, I see you on. Brenda Chapman Reynolds, we thank you for watching. You guys, if you have any questions or comments, of course, make sure you throw them into the live feed. I will hop on here and I will read them for you. If you have anything for Miss DanaSimone on today, if you just want to say hi, whatever, you know, throw them into the comment section. Let's encourage her on today because she's trying to encourage us. And then make sure, I believe that earlier, I'm trying to see if it's still on here. I'm sure you guys probably see it, the link to go to purchase her books on Amazon. I believe one of your, was that B?
Oh, Bay,
Bay, I'm sorry. Okay. Bay put that into the comment section for us so that we will just click the link. It'll be simple enough. Click the link, make sure you go in and purchase these items. I believe that you will be blessed. We're being blessed already today, hearing, you know, how she arrived at even doing this. And, you know, she's being upfront. She's being transparent and honest, you know, about what she dealt with herself. And a lot of times, again, that will help us. What do we do when we look at why are reality shows so popular? Because you kind of sometimes you see yourself, you know, in these individuals and what they are dealing with and what they're going through. So sometimes that's why, I mean, the ratings are sky high on these reality shows, you know, because you're imagining yourself in that. So she's being transparent and telling you some of the things she dealt with. And believe it or not, if you will sit and listen to her, some of you probably have experienced the same things. So then she's on the other side of through telling you how to come out of it. And this is what we kind of want to focus on today. Now, listen, hey, Jamone, I see you on. Thanks so much for watching. I'm going to ask, how about we maybe alert again the giveaways that you have offered my listeners and supporters on today. I'll let Dana let you all know how you can get a free gift. Go ahead, Dana.
Yeah, so if you guys that are watching, and thanks for being here again, if you would just share out this broadcast, just share it out on the platform that you're on and use the hashtag GetCaughtInAnet with DanaSimone, all one, no caps. You can cap it, whatever you want to do, but just hashtag that. I am going to do a random drawing and send you an autographed copy of my book. I will send you an autographed copy so that way you can have it as your own and just learn, like, I'm not lying. I'm telling you, it's going to be life-changing. So use that hashtag, GetCaughtInAnet with DanaSimone, and then we'll do a random pool of names of all those who shared that hashtag, and you will get the free book. There's also another offer that I have with the book. When you go to Amazon, on the front description, it's a free offer that's listed on the Amazon page itself, that if you post a picture, once you get your book, if you post a picture of you with the book, or you post the book itself with hashtag I got mine, you get a set of personalized stickers that you can use for your journal, so that you can kind of customize it with your personality. There's lotus flowers in here. I am a female masterpiece. So there's a few stickers in here that you can personalize. Like that one day that you were like, this was it. You can personalize it with a sticker, so that way you can find it, especially if you don't want to rabbit ear that page. There's like these colors in here. There's purple and green. Those are my trait colors. There's like these purple little endings that you can put on the edge of your page instead of rabbit earing it. And that's the page that you're reminding yourself, this was the day that it was it for me. But these stickers are really special because I contracted a 12-year-old little girl who just started her own business a couple months ago, her own sticker business. I contracted her to do all the Female Masterpiece Gratitude Journal stickers. And so she hand custom, she designs them, she color dyes them just for this journal. And she's only 12 years old. She's 12. So I was like, and she just starting off. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna need you to let me help elevate your business. So you'll see like the little corners here, purple and the green and the lotus flower and the namaste. And you can kind of decorate your journal. But she's 12. Her name is Kira. And she's out of Illinois, and she's having a ball putting these sticker packages together for me.
I love that. Now, see, she keeps giving back. She's giving back. She's helping people. She's helping people. That's beautiful. Shout out to, what's her name again?
Kira.
Kira. Okay. Beautiful job, young lady. Beautiful job. And for someone to take an interest like that's wonderful. That's beautiful. But I was thinking that was actually a very good, that's a good concept for a book. Like you say, you may not want to dog ear it. You may just want to, make sure you hold on to that section or refer back to a certain section where you got a breakthrough, if you will.
Yeah.
That's good, because I never even thought about anything like that. I will dog ear a page in a minute, or slide something in there, maybe a bill.
Right. A bookmark or something.
Right, exactly. So that's good. You guys, make sure you take advantage of that. Go ahead, look in the comment section. Whit is helping us out as well.
Okay, good.
And
Whit.
and also I did pin at the bottom of the live feed. Type and share. You can share this live feed. You can do hashtag GetCaughtInANet with DanaSimone. Mm-hmm. And then what we're going to do at the end of the show, Dana's going to go, she's going to go back and she's going to do a search with that for that hashtag. And once it comes up that you have done that, then you can win the free gift. And this is beautiful that she's doing that. Not too many people give out gifts now, guys. So you guys take care of that. Take advantage of it, should I say. Exactly. And then also she put the bit.ly up. Thank you again. But yeah, this is superb. Again, you guys are commenting on here how you're enjoying her on today. So take advantage of this. Take advantage. This is going to be something that you need in your library. I want to see if I can set up for us the spoken word. I want to have that played. Elder Kevin McGee pins a spoken word for Mind, Body, and Soul on a weekly basis. And we thank him for that. He has a show at Intellectual Radio, which is also where Mind, Body, and Soul airs out of. His show is every Saturday at 12 noon. But he will take the topic of the day for Mind, Body, and Soul and pen a spoken word. So I'm going to play that now, and then you guys let me know if you can hear it and tell me what you think.
Every now and then, you have to shut out the world and take in you. Take the time for some self-care. Pamper yourself. See, it's not enough to say that you love yourself, but like that significant other, you must show the love in action. So take yourself not simply a spa day, but you need a day to show yourself gratitude for the masterpiece that you are. When you can love yourself, you can love others. So make you the priority because you matter. If you have been putting the person in the mirror on the back burner, then reinvent yourself. Walk tall with style and grace in the spirit of elegance because right now it's okay if it's all about you. Learn how to get it done without becoming outdone. Go ahead, live your life and smile while you're at it. Transcribe your thoughts so that it may become a blueprint as you journal your path to a happier year. You are the masterpiece. Take care of it so that it can be a blessing to everyone else.
Wow.
Yes.
What'd you think about that?
Nice. I was like, hey, was he here? Was he here? How did he know? That is awesome. That was so on point. I'm like, oh wow, he had it all in there too.
He really did. He really did. And now this time, I didn't even get a chance to share with him like any background of, about you. Of course, he hasn't read your journal or anything, but I just told him what the show was about. That's why I always know that Elder McGee is, I know he's led by the Lord. I know he is.
That is amazing. I mean, literally, that was amazing.
Oh, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Wow. I'm like, wow. I'm like, yes. It's stuff like that. It's just one simple 2-3 minutes of something that can just change your trajectory of your life, just make you go down a different path, because one wrong mistake will ruin you for the rest of your life. But just imagine when you can just change your thoughts and just into a positive thought, like what that would change and how long that would last you. That's so much better than a life sentence or waking up every day evil. That was amazing. I'm over here like, oh my goodness. Makeup.
Right. Well, I'm so glad you enjoyed it. I really am. I thought it was just straight on point. You guys that are here on Facebook and YouTube, let us know if you enjoyed that spoken word by Elder Kevin McGee. And it does put things into perspective for you. And it makes you think and it makes you kind of reflect. Because I want to be that masterpiece that God intends me to be. Let's see, Flora, Kathy. Let's see, Linda, I see you mentioned that it was too low. Hopefully it was loud enough because I saw that and I tried to turn it up. You guys let me know if you're able to hear that. If I need to replay it, I'll do it. Latanya is on. Whit says she loves that. So hopefully they heard it. But yeah, so let me ask you. You've written this. You've had your own epiphany. You've written the journals. What else do you really hope to accomplish with this? Yes, this is definitely a good time for you and this journal. It really is. It truly is. We already talked about what we're dealing with, and even in the world on today, and how this journal can be a help to so many. But what else do you hope to accomplish with this? Are there more journals coming out? What else does DanaSimone have cooking in the pot?
It's always something. It's always like Whit will tell you, and my digital strategist, Rosemont Media, will tell you. I always got something. I'm always thinking about something. But as things continue to evolve for me and for the people that call me, inbox me, because I'm never out of reach. So, and I've said this from day one, from my talk show, that I never want to be that person who you cannot reach out to. I don't need you to go through 4, 5, 6 different people just to ask me a question. I want to be accessible. So that way, if you have questions, if you read the first book and you have questions, or if you need help with something, you're not really sure how to do that, how to do a budget, how to do whatever, reach out. That's what I'm here for. I want this to be an ongoing journey of that you're building yourself, and that you're picking and choosing things to enhance about yourself, to just become a better masterpiece, a better you. They always say become a better version of yourself. That kind of thing. I want you to always be reaching out and staying in touch. And how do I do this? And question things. Did that sound right? Did I do that right, DanaSimone? Did I approach this well? I want to always remain to be a mentor and a voice of reason. And I'm going to need sometimes to use your ear to be able to ask you, well, how did you get out of that? How did you overcome that? I may need you for something as well. But it's all about that village concept, that we always have to be responsible for each other in the growth, and to make sure that we always hold everybody right here gently in the palm of our heart. So that way we're always intentional, we're always gracious, we're always Christian about what we say and do to people. So this will always lead into the next phase. I have 2 more books in my head that I plan to write. And so one of them involves divorce. This is my second marriage to Scott. Maybe that's the Scott that's been commenting about the journey. Maybe my husband, Scott. But this is my second marriage. But there's something about that divorce of my first marriage that it is unheard of in the Black community on how we handle divorce and how we as women should handle a divorce. So I do want to touch on that, but at the time it was just way too fresh. It was too soon to put that out there, but I do have 2 other things in mind. I also have extended versions of the journal that I would like to put out there. So, because as you're building this habit of just 5 things, I want to make sure that I take you to the next level so that you're writing more things. So now that you're actually writing out thoughts, that now you're writing out a paragraph or you're writing out a half a page to get you to writing better, particularly our young people, because a lot of times we can't speak or write when we get to college or when we graduate. And you don't know how to express yourself. You don't know how to sell yourself and say who you are. You don't have an elevator speech. This writing down little things will help you formulate your words and come up with words and be able to speak in 30 seconds or less. If you ran into Steve Jobs, well, you're not gonna run into him now, but if you run into Bill Gates on an elevator, what would you say before you got to the top floor to him? You know, that's what I want to happen to you. So we'll keep doing more and more of this type of stuff, that where we build that muscle, we build that brain muscle of gratitude, so that it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And before you know, people will be calling you Annette saying, oh my God, so many things have changed in my life. And I got better health, healthy. And I started exercising with DanaSimone on Saturdays and, that kind of thing. My husband and I are starting a mentoring group. So that's another way that we would like to give back. We have our first mentee in the Illinois area. She's in the southern suburbs of Illinois. And so we have our first mentee for our new mentoring nonprofit. And so we're looking forward to that and bringing on some young men and men as well into that. So it's just all about continuing the giving and finding out where the need is and where our community really needs additional guidance.
Okay. Ooh, I love this. Well, you are a busy woman. You are on the go. So you're constantly giving back, and that's a good mindset to have. Because too often times we're just thinking about ourselves, just me, my four and no more. If you will, and if you outside of that 4, you're okay. Maybe you might get a little attention, but not too much. But it's good to give back, and I love, and even your husband, Scott, thank you so much for commenting. I saw you commenting. I did not know that was your husband, but I appreciate that, and I love how the two of you you're in this together. You know, I'm not gonna sing "We're in this love together," but you know, you're in it, and it's comforting to see, and it's good to know that couples can work through this and do this together. Let's see. I had a question for you. Actually, it was a couple of questions. Let me see if I can. Oh, let me back this up, because I did see a few more gentlemen that joined in. Now we've talked about the Female Masterpiece Journal. Can you talk a little bit more? Maybe talk again, if you will, about the male aspect, because like I said, I did promise them that you was talking about it, and she mentioned it earlier, but I know some of you came in after that. So if you can tell us a little bit about the male aspect and what they need to hear. Listen up, gentlemen.
So we were talking about my first book, and that's where I first introduced the female masterpiece and the whole woman with the cape, because we always acting like super women, and that's where the whole cape concept came from. And I talk about a phone booth, and that women meet me in the phone booth so we can come out with our cape on and we can go flying. So that's where it came from. But it dawned on me as I was writing this book that while we are building better women and evolving into better women, what does that do for the men? So how do we help the men come along and be there for us, to that we want them and need them, because women always say, I don't need no man. I don't want no man. I can do this on my own. Yeah, we probably could, but we shouldn't, because that's not what God's purpose was for us. That's not what it is in the Bible. Now, if you're atheist, it's a different story. We can talk about that later. But our purpose was to have good relationships, okay? Was to bond with the male. And so in order to do that, you can't just be great, because nobody will ever meet your expectations. If you're just the only masterpiece in your circle, who's going to penetrate your circle? So I have to do things to make sure that we help men evolve as well. And so I talk about your role as a male inside of my first book, being there for her, listening to her, being on that journey with her, not alienating her or judging her or making it harder for her to love you and want you in her life. It's about you all being there together and learning together, the ups and the downs. It's not always easy, but it's always worth it, right? It's always worth it. In the end, it's always worth it, because it could be, I tell people when they ask me some days, how are you? I say, I'm better than some, worse than others. It's like, so it could be worse. He could be worse. She could be worse, but learn how she's perfecting, so that you are there and you can still remain of value to her as you also enhance and perfect yourself. So that's what you do. You are also coming into yourself, evolving to meet her where she needs you to be when she comes out of all of this goodness and greatness. And I talk about the caterpillar, the caterpillar, it's all up in that little wound, and it's uncomfortable. It's like, I want to get out, but it ain't time to get out. That's how women are. That's how men are. We're in this cocoon and in this tight hole, and it's not time for us to come out yet. And it's very uncomfortable. But then once you chip away at that, and then you come out and it's this great, beautiful butterfly. That's what we love most about each other. That's what we end up loving most about a female masterpiece and a male masterpiece. And that's what your role is. We don't want to feel as if we come up here, we've arrived, and you're still down here, and you're not getting the same message, or you're not hearing the message. We want you to be able to understand us, because we know we are from Venus and you're from Mars. We know that. But we want you to be able to have the two cans and a string to be able to understand us. And that's what the purpose is, because we want you to be here, and we want you to ride this journey with us. But you can't do that if you do not accept the fact that I'm trying to be a better person. I'm trying to be a better woman, but I'm trying to understand you. But I need you to also do the same transformation so that we are as equally powerful together, not apart, together.
I love it. Yes, yes, I love it. Thank you. That was a beautiful summary. So hopefully you gentlemen understand that aspect, and that was something that she, whatever questions you had in the back of your mind, how you can, whatever your role is, hopefully she answered that question for you on this afternoon. Let's see here, Elder McGee. Oh, Elder McGee, the one that that spoken word is on. Thank you, sir. We appreciate you. He made a comment here, though. He said you would love his poem entitled "The Black Woman's Declaration."
Nice. I would love to read it. I would love to read it.
Yeah.
Please.
He's always very good. We played your spoken word. You may have come in after it, Elder McGee, but thank you, because it was so on point. Dana was very impressed, and it was almost with us.
Almost needed makeup.
We enjoyed it. It was so on point. As we're wrapping up today, I know I did want to ask you, earlier when you mentioned about you reflecting, and then you started with the journals after that. Can I ask Dana, was Dana satisfied with what she had created through these journals, or whatever within her was satisfied after you created the journals?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Okay. And that is one of the things that's when you know that you have really mastered who you are, who you become, and what it is that you're supposed to do. These books, the journal and the journey, that's when you know, when you can look in the mirror and say, impress me, not somebody else telling me, not somebody else, shooting gas up my behind, me. That when I can look in the mirror and say, I love me, I have no regrets. I put my forth into being a Christian woman, a mom, a friend, a daughter, in these 4 areas of my life, and that I'm doing those well without regret. That's when you know. That's when you know that you've arrived at that point. You never stop learning. You're not gonna ever stop learning about who you are. You remember the pain, you'll remember the things that's happened, you'll remember, but you're remembering it, looking at it from the back, because you've moved on from that. You're so better than that. You're so much better than your circumstances. And you will begin to appreciate you more. Nobody can call you out of your name. They can't call you a slut. There's, what is that song that they talk about, the girls in the house? You're not going to be one of those in the house. You're going to be a female masterpiece. And when I say that I am a female masterpiece, that means everything. That means I'm Beyonce, I'm Michelle, I'm Jackie Kennedy, I'm Felicia Rashard, I'm all of those women, and then some.
Yeah.
And then some.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you for answering that. Oh, bless your heart. I'm giving you a virtual hug. But again, you answered it perfectly. That's when you know. Because a lot of times we can create things, again, we're looking out for other people, but what did it do for us? So that's why I asked you that question.
Yeah.
And I see that it worked well for you. So thank you. Yolanda Carter, you've joined us. And she says, yes, you are right. This is good stuff. If you guys are just not joining us, you're going to have to be kind and rewind, go back to the beginning to listen to this entire session on today. But this has been wonderful talking to DanaSimone on today, talking about this female masterpiece, Gratitude Journal. Gratitude. Oh, yeah, we have to reflect. We have to think back, because if we don't, we can kind of, wallow in whatever we're dealing with, self-pity or what have you, and things can kind of overtake us. But again, we can tie all this back into scripture, as well. It is definitely on point with that. So I do thank you for your time on today, Dana, for taking time out of your schedule, because she is a busy woman. She is busy. For sure, to come in and share with us about these journals and what we need to do, how you're encouraging us. You guys make sure you go to Amazon. Go to Amazon. The link should be still in the Facebook Live comment section. But if not, go to Amazon and type in her name, DanaSimone, and you will find her journals. Please purchase them. I know some have already gone and done clicked on it and purchased the items on today. So we do thank you all for doing that. And we're thanking the rest of you in advance for doing it. Franklin, I see you. You've hopped in. We appreciate you for joining us on today. We're wrapping up here with DanaSimone, and we're going to take in what we've learned on today and apply it to our lives. So hopefully there was something that was said on today that will help each and every one of you. Do you have maybe a last minute parting? I don't know, something to tell. You've given us a lot today. You have, but I do like to let my guests, if they want to have something parting to say to the listeners, you can do so.
Okay, thank you. I appreciate it. And I've had a wonderful time, Annette. I've had a wonderful time. It's been a busy day already, and it's going to be a busy evening. But I truly appreciate you having me on and allowing me to have this outlet to share and shred as well. It's not just about the sharing part, but shredding as well is kind of therapy for me. But I just want to let your listeners know that it's not about just the happiness piece. It's not about doing the gratitude journal. Is not just about, I'm just going to be a happier person. I'm just going to be a giving person. It's about the journey. It's about the ride that you take every day, that you write something, that you're writing something. It's the journey. It's the changes. It's the transformation. It's you recognizing that person who stopped and look at you a different way when you don't respond like you used to. It's that's going to be so important. But just take it one day at a time. Be intentional about it. Be honest with yourself, because you want this. So do it. Just do it. You want it more than anybody. And nobody can force you to do it. Nobody can force you to change. Nobody can force you to be mentally healthier. Nobody can force you to lose 10 pounds or 15 pounds or whatever it is. Nobody can help you get your finances in order, but you. You have to want to do all of those pursuits on your own, and it only takes one day at a time, just one day at a time. And you may have people that come along with you. It's okay if they don't, because remember, it's all about you. It's all about you.
Love it. Love it. All right. You can see she's passionate about it.
I am.
And we appreciate that passion and all that you have brought to the table on today. I do want to thank all of you, my listeners, supporters, those that have watched on Facebook Live and also YouTube. Individuals, they're still coming in. James Harris, I see you. Thank you so much. Bay says this was a great interview. Well, thank you for joining us on today and engaging in this session on today, Bay. We appreciate you and for the comments that you left as well. Thanks to all of you that shared the live feed. I do want to encourage each of you, get caught in the net. There's so many opportunities to get caught in the net. We have a special segment on Friday. I normally air on Wednesdays from 12 to 2, but we're doing a special session on this Friday at 10 a.m. So note the time change. I'm going to continue to have my promos rolling so that you won't miss it. But then also go ahead and check out my website, GetCaughtInANetRadio.com. GetCaughtInANetRadio.com, all one word, and you can see past shows, upcoming shows, and just be alerted of how you can get caught in a net. But thank you so much again, Dana. I appreciate you, and continue continue doing what God has you to do, and helping others, and just having that big old heart that you have. You're placing yourself aside a little bit, but it is for a good cause, so that you can help someone else. So make sure you guys, again, go to Amazon and check out DanaSimone. We're going to get out of here, and then I want, again, you guys to make sure you stay tuned for another opportunity to get caught in a net. All right, hey guys, you know what I always tell you at the end of every segment: make sure you wash your hands, wear your mask, stay safe, and vote. Take care, guys. We will see you soon.